So listen, who is on here today? Because I want to talk a bit. I got somebody to come on here and just give us some nuggets today. I don't really know how to, I don't really know how to like get this live stuff going, but I was made aware that I'm like a diamond in the rough. I got a whole bunch of nuggets that I don't really share besides with my inner circle. What's up, Gigi? And I just wanted to come on here today to introduce myself and to just share some nuggets with y'all. So I got somebody that's coming on that she gonna tell us a couple things that she did and how she got funded and where she at and where she going. Thank you. So I'm waiting on her. Let me see where she at. I just want her to share like maybe 3 minutes to everybody about her funding and what she just got. What's up, y'all? What's up? My name Mila. I don't have a nickname. So my name Mila. My background is in home care agency, consulting, of course, helping people with personal credit, business funding. I juice for a hobby because I just love to keep, my skin glowing and body right. And that's all. I mean, I learned, I'm an expert through trial and errors. I mess up, I fail my way up. And I don't look back. I just learn from my mistakes. So I'm waiting for her to get on. Let me see where she at. Because I told her I want to do this interview on live. So let me see. Anyhow, anybody got any questions? How they personal credit is or whatever? I started fixing credit back in 2015. No, maybe 2014. I just wanted to have good credit. I didn't have a real reason why. I wanted to buy a house, that type of stuff. So, okay, you here? Are you joining? Ask to join, girl. Request. Well, she declined. But anyways, if anybody need any credit fix, any of that type of stuff, I'm definitely here. Get with me. I definitely got a team that can help you with your home care agency if you're into non-medical home care agency. It's not my big thing. I'm the person that can help you with after you get it, the setup and different stuff like that. So I'm gonna go live. Hey T.
Hello, guys.
Hi Carmen. I am so happy for you today.
I know
You
I
did
had a
something
long day.
big.
I know I did something real big.
I'm just so happy that we going up. So I've already introduced myself based off of, our background. And I just want you to introduce yourself and tell people who you are and give them a little bit of introduction of you.
Okay. Well, hello, everyone. My name is Carmen Joyner. I am a consultant, a real estate investor, and also a home care agency owner. So I do a little bit of everything amongst a million other things and other ideas that come to my head. But I'm out of Dayton, Ohio now, and now a new business starting up in Cincinnati, Ohio. So yes,
Can I
yes,
ask
yes.
you, like, how important is credit to you just from when you were younger up until now? Like, how important is it?
So
I don't
talking
know how to share.
about credit. So my whole life I've been having excellent credit, and I don't know if it's just by luck or just because I I just learned it at an early age. So growing up, I mean, my parents were immigrants. My mom didn't speak English, so I grew up kind of like translating for her my entire life. So at the age of 5, I started like, I feel like it was at the age of 5 that I started translating for my mom, right? So I was like going to the bank with her. learning about opening bank accounts, learning about, by translating, I was really like learning how to open bank accounts, learning how to complete applications, how to apply for loan, credit cards, um, everything that a person would do after 18. I was learning that at the age of 5, just by translating for my mom. And I feel like a lot of kids that grow up in an immigrant family kind of like gain that skill, where
Hmm.
let's say an American kid, it's not until the age of 18 to 25 where we start learning about credit, about paying bills on time, and things like that. But me growing up in a family where I had to be the translator, I was already learning. I remember, I think I was like 9 when my mom tried to buy a house. My dad was a contractor, so he was traveling everywhere. But my mom tried to buy a house, and I think I was like 9. I couldn't be more than that. But I remember my dad had a lot of cash. So, he did other businesses on the side. So he had a lot of cash. We went to the bank with all this money, and the bank rejected letting him buy the house with all this cash, because of course, because they wanted to know where the money was coming from. They wanted to see proof and stuff like that. So I remember learning right then about credit. I'm like, okay, we coming from Dominican Republic, where you can buy anything with
Hmm.
cash. So now we're going to the bank with $100,000 in cash, and they telling us, no, you cannot buy a house because
Hmm.
you need to prove where this money is coming from, right? Or you need to apply for a loan so you can get credit and apply for this mortgage. So at the age of 9, because I was translating, I already knew that credit in America was more important than cash, than money and anything else, right?
Hmm.
So, I was doing all my mom paperwork to get those type of things my whole life. So credit to me came like completely natural. Like I really didn't have to learn it when I turned 18. I already knew what to do to keep my credit right, and I already knew like if you don't pay your credit card or you don't pay your bills, you're gonna have bad credit. So when people ask me like, how do you have excellent credit and how you go your entire life with excellent credit, it's kind of hard for me to explain it. I remember back, like 10 years ago when me and you met,
Yeah.
you were like, okay, I'm trying to fix my credit. I'm trying to get all this stuff. And I couldn't explain it to you. So you went and became a whole credit expert.
Yeah, because I got passionate about it. I was
Right.
18. I was
Right. So
18
then
and
I
my
was
name was already
asking you.
used. Yeah,
Exactly.
my
So
name was
then I
already
was
used on the
asking
light
you.
bill, on the phone bill, and my credit was shot before I even could kill it myself. And I might have went out and got a charge card or something like that. Remember, Macy's hired me. Remember, I was like, I got the charge card and ran it out because it came with your job.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you were like, and you kept asking me, like, so how do you keep your credit right? But I couldn't explain it to you, because I feel like it's something that I learned at such an early age. It was like me putting my clothes on to me. Like I knew exactly what to do to keep my debt to ratio low and keep it going up. But
Right.
then when you learned it, I was going back to you like, damn, I need to hold on. Something click on my credit. How do I get it up? And you was telling me all these things. So I kind
Right.
of learned like the back end of the credit working with you and stuff like that versus just doing things the way that I was just doing it just because I knew.
Right. Because at first you was like, go to Credit Karma,
Yeah,
do
like just do all this
it.
stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, keep writing them, that type of stuff. So definitely, I mean, I definitely that was a start for me. But then I just got, I got a passion to really want to learn it. And I get a lot of people that say, "Why are you charging?" or "Credits for free? You can do it yourself." And I tell them, actually, learning is for free, but teaching isn't. Or doing the
Right.
service for you. So really, what I'm charging is the service. I'm not charging you to do your credit. So to do the stuff that you don't want to do.
Hmm.
So let me ask you this. What, like, in the last 2 years or whatever is your initial like financial challenges or goals that led you to seek the funding and the thing that we're going to announce that you did today?
So really, the thing is with credit is making sure that of course everything is getting paid on time, that you don't have a big debt to ratio, and also if you have a business, the most important thing is that business cash flow, maintaining a cash flow, knowing your finance every month. So every month, for example, for my business, at the end of each month, I review all my finances. So I know all the expenses that I have and all the income that I have coming in. So by the beginning of the next month, I already know if I'm going to be in a negative, if I need to go out and become a salesperson and get more clients, or if I need to get rid of something in the company in order to maintain the cash flow. Because the last thing that you want to do is show the bank that you have a negative number on any of your finance.
Right, right. So what's the process of like if I wanted to fill out, like, do I start, like, do my personal credit need to be a certain number? Like because you got a couple
Yeah.
different options here. So let's say if I wanted to just buy a house, what is it that I would need, or the people that's looking at, what is it that they would need if we just wanted to buy? I just got a husband and we got a nice job and we want to buy a house and a car.
You definitely need a 6.40 credit score at least, right, to buy a house.
Mhm.
But mostly what they're looking at is, have you had a car payment, for example, right? They want to see that you have real life responsibility, like big adults responsibility. So they want to see if you had any car payments, okay, have you paid your car payments consistently on time? So they want to see like a years of history in order to give you that loan. Because what the banks want, and the banks always want to secure their money. So they want to make sure that you are a person that is responsible and that you're going to pay your bills on time, no matter what situation you go through. Of course, having a job is gonna make a difference. And one thing that I have always learned is always having the same job don't I mean, when you switching jobs, that stuff reports on your credit
Right.
too. So having a consistent income and a consistent job, I don't care if you do a million other things on the side, have something that is consistent with what you do, because they're looking at that too. They look at how you live in your life.
So I go out and I want to buy a house. So I need to make a certain amount of money and I need at least a 640 credit score. And
Hmm.
then my credit profile basically just needs to show a long-term job and not just all over the place with a whole bunch of different addresses or a whole bunch of.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't want to be moving to like having a whole bunch of different apartments. Every month they see that, every 6 months they see that you're moving to. So be as consistent as you can. Consistently is everything. Consistency.
Okay. So, okay, what if I wanted a car? Like, I mean, last year, actually, you know what? You're making yearly check marks because last year I pulled up in Ohio and you picked me up in a G wagon.
I sure
So
did.
what is it that I need, or anybody that is listening? What is it that they need to pick up their friend in a G wagon?
Well, you got to remember too. So I've been, I had my first car that I got a loan for in 2000.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been making payments to a car, to a car company, to a finance company for how long is that? 20 years, 22 years. So they see in the history that I never was late on those payments, never was one day late. They also see in credit cards. I don't have many store credit cards. I have real like Visa and MasterCard credit cards. I have a couple of them, not too many, but a couple of them. What I do is I keep my balance no more than 50%. So my balance is always at 50% or below. And just really making sure that everything is getting paid on time. That's the key
What's
to
keeping them from
everything.
pulling and giving you? I mean, like, so when you got the G wagon last year, did you have like a million inquiries, or you kind of already got a qualified for the lease, the loan, or whatever? Like, what's keeping them to just like, here's the keys, whatever, and you're going out the door? Because I actually seen you do this a couple times where you're not wasting a lot of
Right.
time.
I never go through the dealership finance. I always go through my bank.
Mm-hmm.
So normally I do all my paperwork with the bank first, and then I bring the paperwork to the dealership. So I only give one pull. I don't try to do that thing that the dealership do until they get you qualified for something. Because the goal of a dealership is to get you qualified no matter what. So you're gonna get out of there with a car. You're gonna get out of there with a
Right.
24 and
You did
25%
that before on
interest.
me time ago.
Yeah. But if you already prepare and have all your things in order and go to your bank instead, you're gonna know, hey, I'm coming in with my 7.64% interest, whatever the interest rate is. And by making sure that you have all the right things that we discussed on your credit, you should be getting the lowest interest rate.
Okay. Cool, cool, cool. So, okay, so now we talked about the personal stuff. I want to know, how do you switch over stuff to business credit where it's effective for the listener that's listening right now? Like, normally people might go open up a business credit account, and I don't know, maybe they might line a LLC up a certain way or whatever. But what do you suggest? How somebody make their LLC look to make sure that they're getting business credit to there so they can, get the funding or whatever that they need? And how
So,
do you flip it over into business?
so for business credit, the number one thing is always to record your everything on your business. All the money that comes in and all the money that goes out, you have to make sure that you're recording all the money. And the reason the government make us do that, first of all, because they want us to pay taxes on everything that we make, right? But that's the only way that we can show all this finance company that yes, it is true that we're making this type of money, right?
Mm-hmm.
So to apply, let's say for an American Express, they want to see that your company is reporting, that you actually doing all your cash flow and all that stuff on your balance sheet, and that you filing your taxes. And also they want to make sure that you have credit lines. So basically with a business, you can start by opening an account with Uline. So if you go to Uline and set up a payment term, let's say that they agree to put you on a net 30 where you can pay your invoices 30 days. I don't care what it is that you buy. If you buy just your paper towels from Uline, that's going to help you create that credit right there, right? Because Uline is one company that do report to those business credit agency, and you can explain more about that. And then if you set up any vendors that you deal with, try to set up a credit with them. I don't care if it's what kind of vendors do I deal with, buying gloves or nursing, home care type of stuff. Whatever I buy, I try to set up credit. I always call them and I say, can you set me up on a credit? And it's not because I don't have the money to pay right then. It's really because I want that flow to go on where
You
I
want
can
it there
show,
before.
yeah, where I can show any credit or like, hey, listen, they trust me, and they're giving me 30 days to pay them. So, and now I got something to show that yes, I can have that business credit card because I already have vendors set up with me, that's giving me credit already.
Right.
And I don't
So,
know how they report. Maybe you can explain that because I don't really know how they report to the business credit agencies.
from my understanding, Duns and Bradstreet or Experian Business Credit, that it shows through that, but you have to set up a number. So some people say you don't like the no doc loans and stuff that people are getting. You don't really need a Duns number for that. But if you're like kind of doing the thing that you done today or whatever, like, for the most part, you got to have a Duns. It show your scoring A, B, C, D, or to F, and that's how they grade it.
Yeah, and we partner up in a home care agency, back in 2016,
Mm-hmm.
and we did the same thing. Like, so we started building our credit by applying, we went to the bank first, applied for those bank business
But
credit
we didn't
cards.
know nothing about what we was doing. We was just trying
Right.
stuff. We was
We were
building
just
our way up.
trying
We was like,
things.
I think.
Right. So
Yeah.
and then with my second home care agency that I opened, I did the same thing and it worked. I followed the same steps that I did the first time
Mm-hmm.
and it worked somehow. And it was really setting up accounts with different vendors and getting those small credit cards, Visa cards from US Bank, the business Visa cards. What else did we get that I can remember? Then we
Um,
went to American Express,
yeah.
yeah. hmm
So Throughout any of this stuff, can you think of one obstacle you might have had that heat you up, that gave you a little fear, but you just jumped back in there?
During so before COVID, I remember we tried to from having our home care like extended hours, we tried to apply for a credit line for $50,000 and they
Yeah.
denied me. And I'm like, why would they deny me? I got perfect credit, right? But they weren't even looking at my personal credit. So then I stopped. I never tried again to get another credit line at all until what? After COVID now last year, where you kept talking about loans and stuff. And I was
We
like,
gotta get these. We
yeah,
gotta
you're
get.
like, we got to get this loans. We got to get
Yeah,
into
you was
this.
stuck on being a debt-free company. So that listen,
Hmm.
y'all, whoever listening, for 5 to 7 years, this lady right here, she didn't want to owe nobody no money.
Nope, I didn't want
Nobody.
no loans. I didn't want no credit lines, no
Yeah, she wanted
nothing.
us to pay everything out of pocket, but that was like how you said earlier, your upbringing. Like I
Hmm.
own my stuff and I don't want to be in debt until we
Yep.
start talking about good debt and bad debt when it comes to businesses and being able to leverage it. Because
Yeah, we started reading the rich dad, the poor dad, and all this stuff. And then I started looking at it like, shit, but my whole personal life, my whole life, I've been like living off finance stuff, right? And then I kept looking at it like, shit, if I can do the same thing that I did in my personal finance life, I can do it in business.
yeah. Yeah, because you would send me what's the one guy that wanted to be debt? That's one book out of all the books you ever gave me, I threw. Somehow he wasn't
Oh
resonating with me.
yeah, what's his name? He talked about how to keep your credit clean, not to buy
Hey,
cars. I
that was
mean, I
Dave
forgot
Ramsey.
what his. Yep,
Dave
that's
Ramsey.
his name. And now I see that was me before. I used to be in love with
Yeah.
him, and then last year I hated him because he kept saying, "Don't get yourself in debt," right? But the thing that I learned with research and just by looking at other businesses and big businesses was that without getting those loans, we're not going to be able to grow. And all the big corporations are living off loans. I mean, they're not debt free. They lease places. Everything they do is based on loans.
So basically, the importance of credit that I would share with anybody is basically access to financing, financial flexibility, and just having a good credit history. So I want to wrap this up, but I want you to tell people what you just experienced today and what you've been working on. Come out with your project, bro, because I'm like, oh my gosh. I mean, I know we've been talking about it, but it was just
Right.
weird, and I'm here. So in Houston, so I'm not there.
So the G Wagon last year was my biggest thing that I did last year. But today, I actually, and this is a crazy story because 2 weeks ago, I was telling Milo, like, I applied for this business loan, this commercial loan, and I have no idea how it works. But one thing about me, I'm a number freak, right? So I look at numbers every day, I review them every week, and when it comes to my finance, everything is really, really organized. So you can ask me I mean, today how much my company is making and how much it lost, and I'll be able to tell you that, right? Because I'm a spreadsheet, completely crazy ass person, if you want to call it. But I like looking at my numbers and doing things with my numbers. So 2 weeks ago, I told Milo, like, I applied for this commercial loan, and I have no idea how it's going to work. I just submitted all my taxes to the bank, and all my cash flow, my balance statements. And she was like, I wonder, she kept asking me little questions. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know how it works. So today we closed on $1 million property. Yep.
And I was like, okay, 250,000 funding, 100,000, that kind of stuff. But it's just absolutely like it's just amazing that
Yeah.
just being people of color, or I don't know if the proper word or whatever, just us able to do something like that. So even though it's not my project, I just feel a part of it because you kind of opening the door, and I'm sure the rest about to come because I've actually been seeing that just from our friend circle. Like, one person kind of do something, and then next thing you know, it gives everybody else courage to be like, this is available too.
Yep, so it's definitely is there, and the banks are actually making it available for more minority people to access these funds. The things that you have to remember is to make sure, that you build a nice credit history. And actually, this is don't have nothing to do with my personal credit. Like they look at your personal credit, of course, because the bank want to know if they have any assets that they can take in case you stop paying your property. But really, this is not reflected on my personal credit. So my debt to ratio is not going to get affected by this purchase. And then, what else did I say that, and then just talking to the bank. They're going to help you and they're going to give you what you need. Don't be afraid of going to the bank and building that relationship with them. Matter of fact, the bank that I used, it was a bank that I have never used before, never done business with them, and never talked to the loan officer before. It was somebody completely new that the bank teller referred me to. And I just told him,
Get
like, hey,
a
how
team
do I
though.
get through? Matter of fact, when I went to him, I said, how can I get a loan? I was trying to buy rental properties, like apartments. And I went to the bank and I said, how can you give me a $3 million loan? Right? So who asked
Stressing
those
me
type of
out.
questions? So he was like, I don't know if I have to find out. So then I came back like a couple weeks later, like, okay, never mind. I just want to buy something for my business. I want to buy a building for my business. And he was like, what's the purpose? I'm like, I feel like there's going to be a lot more growth and stuff like that. So I was showing the bank, we sat down together. We went through my finance, my cash flow statement, and I was showing him, like, I just started this business brand new in 2019. The business didn't do We started picking up clients in 2020. So I still was making what, like 300,000 in 2020. That's the most that I did. Then 2021, that's kind of like where I started really showing growth. So I went month by month showing him, like, look, we went from like this amount to shit making another 100,000, and now I'm making this a month. And he's like, damn, that business is growing fast, right? So
Hmm.
that's what they want to see. They want to see that you can show that your business is really growing fast. And now they're going to give you this. Why my son just joined to be nosy. So now they want to,
Your mom, would you see what they did to
right. He probably don't even know. But
me?
anyway, the bank want to see that, you got to. So now the bank is looking at me like, shit, I want to do business with her because her business growing so fast. I'm going to give her whatever she asking for.
Hey, what up? What
So,
up, Joe?
and then they looking at all the assets. I mean, we have more than 50 cars in our transportation right now, right?
Mhm.
So they looking at those assets. Those are already, cheap cars that we buy cash, $2,000 type of cash. I mean, type of cars. So they looking at those cars like, okay, we have plenty of stuff that we can take away in case that they can't pay. So what the bank don't tell you is that they never gonna give to somebody that doesn't have nothing. They never gonna give loans to. They
Okay.
don't tell you
Gotta
that.
have assets.
Yeah, you gotta have access, and they don't tell you that, right? So the first thing is you gotta try to get you a mortgage, try to get you those cars, buy you some cash cards. It don't matter what you get, but have access where the bank can see, okay, this person is really putting their life together and building something for themselves or the future, whatever it is that they want to look for. But they don't want to give money to somebody who just have a excellent credit and nothing on their credit. So you don't want to have that. You want to have stuff inside your credit.
Okay.
So
Got
yeah, so 2 weeks ago when I told Milo, like, oh yeah, I'm buying this building. I don't know how, but I'm buying this building. It was just basically showing the banks or cash flow or business cash flow, and showing the bank that we were making money, that every month we increasing our funding, that we increasing our business.
so the requirement
And
so let me get this right. So the requirement for like the property that you got going on, it wasn't necessarily your personal credit, it
it
was your
was
asset.
all it was based on assets and business credit. I
Okay.
mean, we only been in business from 2019 till 2023,
Mm-hmm.
so not even that long. So and
Okay.
now we went and they gave us, I mean, low interest, great payments, and just $1 million property
So,
right there.
may I ask, what are you gonna do with the building?
So the building is ready to expand our home care agency. So we're going to be doing the same services, just providing it in Cincinnati. We're still going to keep our operation in Dayton and just grow a different county over there.
Got you. So, if somebody wanted to reach out to you, or like, how could you help others do this? Like, what is it that you do, or that you extend yourself for others to reach out to you to help them get maybe not exactly what you're doing, but their dream or whatever they want?
So I got me a nice little gift today. Obviously, Paul is on the phone because he would have been here being nosy. So I started a consultation company, CJ Management, and I really did that to help people because at the beginning, when we started a home care agency, it was hard to find people to help us. And it was hard to find the resources that we needed. So I started this consultation company just to help other people if somebody see me in the street and they wonder how I'm driving a G-Wagon, they can ask me what I'm doing. So hey, if you can do what I'm doing, I'm open to give you any information that you need and help out. So I opened the consultation company just for that, to just help people reach their dream if they want to get into the business that I'm doing. And regardless whether it is home care, real estate, whatever, whatever I'm doing, I'm going to share it.
We've been putting together something, and real soon, if y'all got y'all money together, we gonna create an investment group. So be on the lookout for us to announce that. Whoever down, just let us know, DM us or whatever. But we putting together a real estate investment group.
Yep. Yeah,
So
we gotta get into this because it's a lot of how much did I tell you? The banks said that they were offering like more than 88 billions to minority business. One thing I haven't done is I haven't registered my company as woman owned, and I haven't registered the company as minority owned. So that's one thing that I'm gonna work on next. And I
me
haven't
too.
done it because I haven't had time, but yeah.
Do something like that, or do you think that's like rather easy, or just take a little time? How hard do you think it is to
I
make?
don't think it's hard. I think it's just a lot of paperwork and a lot of application and process. Like everything else, it's just like starting a business. You go through the same steps for everything. So I feel like that is actually an easy process. It's just time consuming and you got to sit down and do it. Um, but I don't think it's a hard process at all.
Cool.
But it needs to
So
be done because the banks are willing to give us money. So we're going to take all the money now.
we got to get
Yeah.
it. I'm next.
Yeah. Yep.
But
Yep. So I'm trying to get like a capital loan next. So we'll see what I can come up with that.
what is a capital loan?
So a capital loan, basically they give it to you if you need like equipment in your business. Let's say you want to expand your transportation company, they give you those funding so you can, have enough money to buy all the cars that you're going to need to operate your business. So it's really just because the banks see that you have a business that have future growth. So they want to invest their money in you so you can grow it. And of course, you want to come back and give them more money and
Absolutely.
more business.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
Absolutely. So y'all, listen, me and Carmen and whoever else, I'm gonna have basically get people to come and share their success stories and stuff with us every Thursday ish around the same time. We'll be back just because we decided that we had all this wealth of knowledge that we don't really share, and I just was like, it's time for us to invite.
Yeah. Yep.
Because you don't even, like I said, we failed our way up. We became an expert because we tried so many times and we failed, and we did stuff. We did it this way, we did it that way, but we didn't ever give up until it worked.
Exactly.
You know,
And it's never too late. So if your credit is not that good, just shit, Mila got a good program going on that you can go through her. She's gonna help you fix it. But just get on it like right as soon as possible. I mean, it's never too late to start, but the sooner that you start, the better position that you will be in. Here comes Paul. He's gonna come stalking us.
leave,
So,
leave them.
so Paul, when you were 18, right? I met Paul when I was what 17 and a half.
Mhm.
And then he came in with credit card loans and collections. I'm like this kid thinking like the only thing that I learned was that you had to pay your credit card. He thinking like, no, this is free money, basically.
Hey, listen. Let me tell you what I did. So in high school, I was 18 already in high school, and I guess my grandfather or my grandfather, what happened to my grandfather, his name was the same
I
as
can't
mine.
hear you.
You can hear me? Can you hear me?
Oh, you
Mm. Clay said use your mic.
So, so my grandpa had the same name as me, and so Sears, he had a great relationship with Sears, and they automatically pre-approved me for a credit card. So I just gave my social. They gave me like $5,000 at 18 in high school. So I had a car. I put some wheels on it at Sears, put a system in it, and shit, that's it. I pulled off on the lot. I ain't never been back. I ain't never paid no payments, no nothing. Then I went and got the Austermans. I got a credit card there. Got me some jewels. Got my shit shining. Never made no payments there. And then I got out of high school, got into college.
But those are the things that they don't teach you in school, which
Nah,
is terrible. But as an immigrant kid, like I was saying, I learned that because I was translating for my mom. So I was doing like adult, instead of reading little books, I was really, like, really just doing adult things by translating to her, and I learned all that stuff. But Paul, who grew up in America, at 18 had no idea that what I mean how credit would affect his life.
right, right. My dad always said you got two things where your license is credit, but I did not understand what credit was at the time. I mean, everybody know what credit is now, but 18, you didn't know what he was talking about.
But you know,
So
You
then I
didn't
went.
care either.
you inspire me. Like when I was just had all the negative items and stuff years ago, I can remember you saying if I had to live off of anything between money and credit, I would live off that. I don't know what your
Oh,
reasoning was back
he
then,
was
but
up then.
Oh yeah. That changed. So it my credit changed at like 19. I went to go try to get a car, and they was like no. And then Carmen was like, well, I'll co-sign it or whatever. She couldn't even co-sign the car for me. She had to buy it in her name for me, and I
yeah,
make the payments. And that's when I realized like, oh, something got changed. So we went back to the house, and she pulled my credit up, and we just started paying everything off, making payments and payment arrangements. And after that, that was the last time I ever had any delinquency or late stuff going
And
on my
that's
credit.
another thing. So if you have somebody who got good credit in your household or a family member, something that they don't tell us that we're learning now is add them to your credit card, add them as a co-signer. Make sure it is somebody, of course,
This
that's gonna be reliable, that like paying their bills and that have good credit. But make sure that they add you to those credit cards because it's gonna help you, bump your credit
so
up.
I see
and
Reggie asked. So I don't know, Paul, if you introduce yourself, but I got somebody to ask. Did passion for this business fuel the growth of y'all wanting to grow, or the pursuit of happiness? Which one played a major part?
pursuit of happiness.
Yeah, I was
Uh,
thinking the same.
business and money and everything for me when I was younger was to buy things, and honestly, what things made me happy. Then I realized freedom makes me happy now. What I mean by freedom is like not having to do things in order to maintain my lifestyle. The, the easier it is to maintain my lifestyle with me having not to do anything is what I want now. This is what I work hard for. This is what reason why I have credit. Because if your interest rates is lower, it requires less money to have nice things.
Gotcha.
You got a $200,000 car and you got a 2% interest. You know what I'm saying? You can do the math on that. We got low payments. My payments probably lower than somebody with an $80,000 car. So
And
all
you're
of,
not even paying a down
and
payment.
I'm not, yeah, you sign and drive. So those things help it. See that down payment. Let's say you put 20, 30,000 on your $1,000 on your car. Me, I'm keeping that in my bank. I'm making payments from that money, or using that money.
Monitor all this stuff, being that you got business credit, the cars, the houses, different, loan. How do you monitor all of this stuff where it doesn't create anxiety?
I do auto pay.
Okay.
As long as you make sure you got money, I set up auto pay as soon as I get
A new
a
credit
new credit
card.
card, new credit line, or whatever it may be. I set up auto pay immediately. I
Yeah.
don't make any payments. It just automatically come out. I have an account just for payments.
And get
Okay.
your free credit karma. Download your free credit karma and monitor your credit. I look at my stuff every week. I don't know why, but like I said earlier, I like looking at numbers and I try to look at numbers in every way.
Got you. So listen, y'all. We'll be back here next Thursday, 6:15 ish. If anybody, well, I'm gonna answer a question. At least 5 questions. If anybody got any questions, we're gonna answer it. So we got another one for Reggie. Is time management something you both master? I think he's asking that to y'all.
Time
Maybe.
management is something you have to manage to be successful. In order to be successful, you have to figure out to do more things in your day than the average person. And that's how you become more successful than the average person, being able to accomplish more things in the average day. So me and Carmen go by that rule where we doing 2 days in one. So we're
Hmm.
getting up extra earlier and doing all our emails from 4 to about 8 a.m. And then we might go work out or go out to eat or do something like that for about an hour. Then I'm going to the offices and checking on the team from 10 to about 2. Then I'm taking another break and doing something else, either with my kids or my dog or the family. So that's 2 days right there. So I'm doing 10 days in the work week, and Saturday and Sunday I'm watching. I'm out partying, or Sunday I'm watching the game.
Hookah. We know what you
Yeah.
out on
Yeah.
the hookah.
And I
So
don't do hookah, so I go to the hookah bar with
and
him and I be
What
on
she's
is
my
putting a
laptop.
third she's putting a third day in where I'm only putting in 2 days. So
okay. So do anybody else got any more questions before we get off? I got time for at least 3 more questions.
And we were talking about the building, which I couldn't really explain how we got this loan, but somehow we got it. And it was for a lot.
well, business credit. We built business credit by it started with her starting this company. And I'm just tapping it. It got me an Amex in it and got other things in it, gas cards for the company, and just building that business credit. And then also I use my Amex. If anybody knows me that's on here, I always use that Amex. I'm spending 200,000, 300,000 a year on the Amex. And so when they look at our business credit, they like, shit, we strong, you know.
And
How
next
can
question.
you look at time?
Really go. 007 says, "How can I grow up and be like y'all?"
So let me give me an example. Let me give you an example. So when somebody says that, I guarantee they either like us or above us. So so she just said that for the hell of it. We know exactly who that is. That's Taisha. So she's definitely
She
over
on
at the
the right
same
track.
Yeah.
page.
So
Mhm.
So
Carmen, here's one for you. Congratulations again. Do you guys offer mentorship for great ideas, the kind that makes sense? Reggie, we'll do
We
this.
do.
we do we do something a little different. We don't really do mentorships, but we do some volunteerships, and we also hire people. Sometimes you got to be around the people in order to learn what they're doing. Our time management does not give us much time to do things that we're not already doing. So if you in the environment with us, you're gonna learn from us regardless, or not even from us. If you're around people that's doing good and you try to soak up that game, sometimes it's easier if you're working with them versus just being around them trying to get the conversation out of them. You
Yeah,
know,
because it just
on,
come. That's what I
it
was
just
telling
come natural
you earlier.
if you get in that environment. If it's something you got a passion for.
Yeah.
Join the team.
I was just actually telling Carmen that earlier, saying that, I've like one person of my friend circle success is all of our success, because what happens is it help break any type of limitation that you might, have that you don't even know that you have. So now that we
That sounds good.
our friends got, a $1.5 million building, it pushes you to be like, oh, maybe I can do this too. And it takes the
Right.
limitation off that you don't even know that you possibly have.
And that's with everything. If you working out and the person next to you putting up 2 plates, you gonna try to do
Yeah.
that. The person next to you driving a fast car, you might want to do that. Everything around you motivates you. It's a saying like JC said, if you around, you know, 5 losers, you gonna be the sixth one. If
Well,
you
this
around
guy just he said, in other words, change my
change
circle.
your
You
circle,
ain't
yeah.
getting
Definitely.
it. You
Yeah, he
still
got it.
change
He
your circle.
automatic, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Like we always try to, even the house where we bought our house, we try to go to neighborhood where people thought that they couldn't go, people like us, So just
But
change the
I
circles.
was telling you about moving to Houston. Like, I definitely came from a place. I've had a decent life, but however, I didn't know I had limitations. So I got to a point where I bought my house, or my mom charged me to rent. It was $500. I didn't have a car note. I had a nice car, but at the end of the day, I was just getting
You
money
have a lot
and
of
just
money and no bills.
I was
I was
just
like,
getting
how you making all this money
passionate.
and no bills?
And then the thing is, like, my kids would ask me, why you don't live in a big house like Ty or like Carmen? And I didn't know what to say to them because I was scared. And I was just
Mm-hmm.
like, I don't know. I think because they got help. And then so by me moving to Houston, and I created a whole bunch of bills that I didn't have at home. But then I realized, like, oh, I could always do this. That was my mindset saying I needed to stay off Hillcrest.
Yeah.
You know
And
what I'm
one
saying?
thing,
Not that it's a problem, but
That's a
you
great
always
thing
grind your
because it
life.
just like what you said, you don't know you said it out loud, but just creating those bills made you work
yeah,
harder.
you have to
It made
spend more money to
it
make
make
money.
more money, but your what you put on yourself puts you in, makes you want to do more. I promise you. I mean, unless you gonna quit. If you a quitter, then you gonna quit. But if you somebody who don't want to fail, you gonna keep going. It's gonna make you work harder and strive to do better things. And that's what happens every time with the right people, with the right mindset and the right people around you.
Yeah, and I mean, y'all always inspire me relationship wise, ups and downs, whatever. Y'all have inspired me relationship wise, just go, even if I'm scared, y'all like, go get it. Who cares? We'll figure it out because
Yeah.
of that. I think y'all can see something in me that maybe I can't see in sometimes.
Yeah.
So, friends do that for each other. So yeah,
You got
so another question.
you got big drive. You ain't and you're fearless. Those are the things that I always say about you, Miley. Very fearless. You got good drive. If you put your mind to something, you're gonna do it. 10 times out of 10, you're gonna succeed. Let's see the next question. Go ahead.
So he says, if I have trucking business in my name under my LLC, am I able to change it? You definitely are. You just got to go to the Secretary of State, and there's a article say name change and change it out. They're going to probably charge you something. I think in Ohio, I just did a address change,
Yeah, I
and
think
then
it
I
was
know I put a
like 25, $50.
And and,
yeah, and it was
but it depends on. I mean, if you got insurance under that, if you got all these other things you done built under that name.
Yeah, you don't want to change it.
But if it's a bad reputation, definitely change it. Or if it's something you just want to change, cool. But you just got to think about vendors like all
I
sales tax license. You
think
got to
what
change
he's
all that at once.
trucking is more of a risk when they want to give you funding. So
Right.
when you got trucking, what is it called when you is like investing in homes and stuff like that? You can get loans, but it's more uh, risk. So when
Yeah.
they look at your company, being a consultant, marketing, doing different stuff like that, they'll kind of give you more funding. But you definitely could change it or do a DBA, or I would just say do another business.
DBA is a good way to do it too.
Yeah, yeah,
We
yeah.
skip.
So I'll see you next Thursday, and congratulations again. Exactly, I'm worried about
You skipped a few questions though.
No, we went through it. You weren't here.
Oh, okay. My bad. My bad. My bad.
He don't want to go.
Yeah, I know. And you don't get no time. We've been doing this for like 45 minutes now,
My
so
bad.
you missed out.
My bad.
Come
I be
back. I
I
want you.
like
I want you to definitely drop the nuggets on what you do because we didn't really get into you, but we're gonna save that for next week. As a matter of fact,
Mhm.
okay?
okay.
All right,
Excellent.
got you.
All
Love
right, guys.
y'all. Love
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
My bad.
Also,
Bye. Love ya.
Love you too.
creating content.
Definitely.
Thanks,
Bye.
Myla.
Uh huh.